well informed compared to many aspirants who prepare for civil services. So I think all that happened in GLITS. So GLITS holds a very special place in my heart, and most importantly, my faculty members. They are very, very encouraging, warm, motivating. So it gives such pleasure to be here. I just wish I meet my friends also. I wish I miss my best friends. So sitting like this in the lab gives me profound memories of what we used to do, how we used to use MATLAB, Xilinx, and then worry about not getting output during externals, but then do something. It's a very good memory and an experience. I am very happy to be here, and I thank the EC department and GLITS as a family for inviting me. Thank you. So I had to do all, repeatedly study all the things that were taught here. So that used to bring back memories of
preparing for the civil services, because we have one Samskriti. So we have one institute that is maintained by all the retired IAS officers. So Diksha Academy. So Diksha Academy is helping to our students for the preparation of the civil services. But of course, overnight it is not going to happen. But doing the hard work over a period, that we can able to achieve it. But one thing which you have to keep it in your mind, that if you want to be go for the civil services, your mind should think about the www, because there is no other alternative for this, the www. There is no other alternative. But of course, we may think that www is the worldwide web. Okay, it's not worldwide web. In my view, the definition for www is not worldwide web, but this is work. So only work. Then only that we can able to achieve the things in our the life. But of course, you may think that it may be joke, but it's not a joke. But over a period, you will come across the effect of the work, the concept of work. Then later on, you will come across that. So that is one example which is before us, Miss Srimati Sanjana Sharma. Okay. Sorry, Sanjana Simha. Okay. So, and on behalf of the institute, I wish you all the best. Okay. I hope you should become a very good IAS officer, because the ladies are performing well being IAS officers, because there are few, the women already they are working, and they are creating lots of, nightmare to the politicians. And the few, working IAS officers even in our state also, the few women, the working IAS officers, they are creating nightmare to the political people. So I sure that the Sanjana Simha also will become one among them and will become a best IAS officer in the country, and I wish all the best, and also the few of you, if you are interested, you can interact with her, the secrecy of her success, and you can interact with her, and also you can say complete the task, and you can fulfill your dreams in future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I know we are all waiting to hear from Sanjana Simha, but even before that, let me tell you a little bit about her. So I am extremely delighted to introduce my student. This is Sanjana.
Okay. Sorry, Sanjana Simha. Okay. So, and on behalf of the institute, I wish you all the best. Okay. I hope it should become a
and such a student we have not come across, frankly speaking. The goal usually, if it comes either from first year onwards, to get placed in a multinational company or go to abroad or through GATE, get into a public sector company or management services like XLRI or MBA kind of. These are the most coveted options, but no one generally thinks to dream like her, and she did it in passion. She also one of in general talk in the department once, like our faculty Chandrasekhar was, she was talking to him and said, "Sir, I am going to crack IAS," and we didn't believe it. We just thought it's casual. Then said, "How is it possible? I will be having a lot of competition like that." Then she made a one statement which is her character speaks of it. "Sir, I will crack the IAS and I will call you one day for the specific function as a chief guest yourself." That was the statement given by her at the time. You don't expect this, right? And making it to happen is her dream. And in frequent talks to her, when she got to 207 and got IRS at the time, I had a chat with her. She was very busy because when the rank was announced in 2000 last year, 207, within 15 days she had prelims for next year, IAS preparation. So because she is in that small gap, and she immediately said, "I am going to prepare again," and she switched off the phone. That is her seriousness, and even in the recent, just before charts also, she says she will explain you how tough it is to be and what support you expect from your surrounding environments to keep up the momentum and keep yourself abreast. There will be times where she will explain better because she has undergone such tension moments of now she has a very clear picture of how your preparation can be planned, because she has undergone all that moments of tension and so much of, you need a lot of support, including family, including the not only mother, father, husband, because this is something which no one guarantees what is going to happen, right? Having engineering background, having IRS background already, can anyone dream again to go for IAS once again and get a better rank? Usually not, because already there is some comfort zone, there is some job, and this IAS is different from IRS. IAS will be with public, with more politicians. It's more challenging than being an IRS officer. The IRS is an office job that's not so much tension as this. So given all the probability, no one goes for it. But our beloved Sanjana has done it in style and has made us all very, very, very proud, Sanjana. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation and coming here, being still very obedient obedient and still very down to earth to us. She didn't even allow me to carry her belongings. She says, no sir, I'll carry. Just I'm casually saying that. So we are very proud of you. Our foundations in GNITS have been very strong, I believe, through your the exhibition of association with us. I thank you so much and I wish you all the very best in your career. It's not easy to be an IAS officer exclusively in the current environment, but being a techie, right, you are capable to confuse the politicians to achieve your goal. I hope that you confuse them and you achieve your goal, and women empowerment is finally being done. That definitely it is possible. Our polarities has served the nation actually through many ways, and you are one ray coming from these ambitions. I wish you very, very all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I request Principal Sir to speak a few words in this session.
Very good morning. It is as chapter released and today's the chief guest and our beloved alumni, Srimati Sanjana Sharma, and the deans, teaching and non-teaching staff, and my dear friends. And today I am happy to know that one of our beloved alumni is selected for the Indian Administrative Services. That is very, very happy moment to the institute, because after the 25th year that we could able to achieve and we could able to read that our alumni is at the topmost level, reach at the topmost level. So that's the coincidence of the 25 years Silver Jubilee celebrations and the achievement. But after hearing the biodata through the Venkateswar sir, she is the class representative for the section C. But normally, in our the minds, that we have one the negative opinion saying that the C section is for the non-rankers, or if it's a non-performance will be placed in the C section and so on and so forth. Am I correct or not? But of course, that is mainly the what which you have experienced in the junior colleges. But of course, that kind of the thing is there in the junior colleges, but not in the G. Narayanam Institute of Technology and Science. Because in G. Narayanam Institute of Technology and Science, the sections will be divided based on not on your the individual performances, but apart from that, the equal performance of the sections is going to get it. Based on that, the sections will be divided. A, B, C. That means in the A section, the best performance will be there, the average performance will be there, and the least performance also will be there. Like that, all the sections will be divided. But of course, today is the best example for that. For the achieving, even though she belongs to the C section and acted as a class representative, but she became the best performer in the nation. So that's why your mindset is how to change. So by looking at this, and we can understand that the section is not at all a criteria for deciding our performances, but the individual capability, the individual what you can say hard work will play an important role. So that we have to understand that. That we have to understand. So the individual capabilities always will keep you higher and higher. Okay. So that's why if you put your efforts, irrespective of the sections or irrespective of the branches, if you put your efforts, definitely you will get the different sign. And apart from that, Ms. Sanjana Sharma, even though has completed in 2016, but from the beginning she is having the dream to become the IAS officer. But actually during this, even though she has completed BTech in 2016, but today is 2022, but this 4 years she struggled a lot. But consistently she struggled a lot. And of course initially she tried for the civil services right from the when she was in the engineering. So she tried for the civil services, but in 2020 she was able to get the 207 rank. But immediately in 2021, with her efforts, with her hard work, she was able to get the 37th rank. But based on that, based on the previous the selection, but she has been selected for IRS, that's Indian Revenue Service. And now she is presently working as an assistant commissioner of the income tax, I think in Mumbai. At Nagpur she is working in Maharashtra. So, and immediately being a employee of the income tax department, and she prepared even for the civil services parallelly, but she could able to get 37th rank in 2021 the selections, and finally she has been selected for the IAS cadre. So that's a very great achievement, and because I know the efforts put by the family, her husband and in-laws for bringing her to this the particular level, because there is lot of the pressures, there is lot of the things which you have to face it when you are preparing for such important competitive examinations. So I appreciate her the efforts for getting the IAS within a short time, in a short while, being a alumni of GNITS. And one more thing is that, and this the 4 years of study might have becomes a platform for her to grow to that extent, because she worked as a class representative. That itself it is one of the great the achievement, because so that she used to mingle with the many people, and apart from that the participating in the social activities, that also one more the added advantage to her, and also to become the placement coordinator during her studies, because these are all qualities will shape us, will mold us in a better manner after completion of the engineering. That's why this is the 4 years of study, and whatever you do, whatever you achieve will becomes a
from GNS in 2016. She secured All India rank 37 in the prestigious civil service examination held in 2021. She is the state topper of Telangana and also topper of 75th batch of Indian Revenue Service. She has been selected to the coveted Indian Administrative Service. She secured All India rank 207 in civil service examination in 2020 and was allotted to the Indian Revenue Service. She is presently serving as Assistant Commissioner of Income Tax in NADT Nagpur. Very soon, she will be joining the Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration, Missouri, as an IAS officer trainer. Mrs. Sanjana Simha also secured 3rd rank in APPSC Group 1 Services Examination and was selected for the Deputy Collector post in Andhra Pradesh State Civil Services. She attributes this tremendous success to the able mentorship and guidance she received from her husband, Sri Harsha Manava. We are very delighted to have you here, and all of us are waiting to hear from you. May I now request Mrs. Sanjana Simha to share her experience and thoughts with us.
Because set of people, volunteers from our college, we went there. It was a medical camp. We got. They used to facilitate GHMC workers. We used to post about them. And then I and my group, we made a application to the corporator and to the local MLA. I wanted more support, so I wanted to stay close to my family. So we on the stage, Principal Ramesh sir, Professor Deputy Sir, HOD of EC department, senior faculty members of all departments and EC department particularly, students, non-teaching staff, a very good morning to everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, returning to my alma mater after 6 years. Yes, 2016 I passed out and was deep in the prep, so never attended the alumni meet. I apologize for not being able to make it. Today reminds me of initial days when I came to GMITS and the journey that I had undertaken here for 4 years. So initially in the first year, chala bedurga undedi asalu inter is all, something happens in 2 years. 10th and schooling is where you are really happy, you have some individuality, inter you lose that, and then you get into engineering. So there will be so many doubts. What am I going to do? Okay, we joined some stream, some department, but will I be able to do something? Where does my interest lie? So all these doubts, mixture of them in my head. Somehow I entered GMITS. Little did I know that it would definitely have a profound impact in my life. And then from first year itself, I think looking back, I saw GMITS as a test bed. So because I thought in these 4 years, I experiment very well about myself and my likes and dislikes, I'd be able to become a better person 4 years after engineering. I didn't want these 4 years to just be a journey for having a degree or a job. So that's how I looked at it. First year was very good. I joined the basketball team. So Ganapathi ma'am is here. I'm really happy to meet her after so many years. So I joined basketball. So I was it was my first sport that I took up. So in order to become a member of the team, I used to work hard, and then I started to go for basketball near my home also to become part of the team. So that was the level of standard of GMITS basketball team. And then I was the CR in the first year, and I used to somehow manage studies, labs, and then sporting activities. And then we came into second year. Second year is when you are shifted to the department. So that's how seriousness gets in the second year. Okay, now we are in EC. It's more focused. There's more to learn. There's more to understand. Conceptual clarity is important. It gets tougher and tougher. Second year went by, and then third year went by, and when third year comes, it dawns upon you that fourth year they have placements. You have to do something different. You have to be exceptional. Get recruited. But in second and third years, it's where you really understand what the college is about, what are the different clubs or societies that you can join, activities you can take part. So I was part of Street Cause and NGO. I was a vice president of Street Cause for 1 year. We did a medical camp in Urdu-Zaguda. That was a very good learning because set of people, volunteers from our college, we went there. It was a medical camp. We got doctors from Siddhartha Medical College, Vijayawada, and then these were the people. So it was not a best of the camps, but that was a learning experience. So post-event, I learned that before going to some place to conduct some event, you need to have the local intelligence. Like, if I am conducting a medical camp, what is the age of the population, the demography like, what is the disease burden like, is there some panchayat very near to it who can help us or give us data? are medicines, what kind of medicines available, what are not available, can we stock them up for them, how many doctors are there, how does the primary health facility run. So I understand about my understanding about these grew only after we conducted the camp. So that was a turning point. So then I understood, okay, if I plan on doing some social work in future, I will do it with much more intelligence. And then when I was in second year end, I think the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan was announced. So I then took it up very seriously. I had my own community group where I was living. So we used to go on cleanliness drives every Sunday. We used to facilitate GHMC workers. We used to post about them. And then I and my group, we made a application to the corporator and to the local MLA to get toilets constructed for GHMC sweepers. So I started to do things like these, which are not actually what we are being schooled about. So I wanted to push my boundaries. So looking back, what I really did was push myself in every field. So I was a decent student, but what I was really looking for is, I know that I am decent and hardworking and smart enough, but there's something more to me. So what is that more is what I was trying to understand during my years in college. So sports, I started to push myself, and then after having a stint in basketball, I understood I have really good passion for basketball, but why not more? So I then started to get trained for boxing. And then it happened so that I was selected for National Boxing Championship in So people might question, what is she doing? She's doing so many things. She's not having constant, legs in any field. But I was looking at it differently. Why should I, be stagnated in one field, one place right now? There's a lot to experiment. So after 4 years, I really tell myself what I will be doing. So then I learned boxing, and then I started to, after doing that, I understood, okay, there is some issue that I have to again address, that what I do in life career-wise. Then the social work and Swachh Bharat happened. Then I understood, okay, this is the field that I should go about. So at the end of third year, I understood I will sit for placements, I will get a job, but I will not join it. Instead, I will start my preparation for civil services. So I started for job. Even then, I thought that why should I just go to the normal training that's being given in the college and just remain a simple student? Why shouldn't I again be in leadership position? So for placements, they were looking at two students who would lead the entire team, and then I was one of them who was selected. So what I'm trying to tell you is, have self-belief and always push your boundaries. So you never know where your aptitude lies. It's only if you experiment that you will find answers for yourself. And for that, for finding answers, you need to question. You need to do. You need to add. So you cannot just be sitting and in your room simply doing stuff that you usually do and expect new results. So that won't happen. So at the end of third year, after deciding to sit for placements, 4-1 I sat and then got in Deloitte. And then after that I understood now I have to prepare for the exam. So then I used to sit in the library, new library blog, and then I used to watch various videos, read competition success reviews of how toppers are preparing. So most of my 4-2 went in preparing the groundwork. It's so important to be well prepared, have a groundwork, have a plan, charted out initially, because we are living in an infodemic society. There's so much of noise outside. So in our parents' generation, they had less of information, because of which their potential was not tapped. We have so much of information now, because of which we are not having direction. So that's how I look at it. So I thought I need to first have an understanding of how the exam operates, how prepared should I be. So I started my preparation, and none in my batch actually was looking to come this side. There were some people, loose bunch you can say, something like 3 or 4 of us. So we used to sit, discuss about it, how to go about it. So we used to call various institutes in Delhi, ask information, raise questions. So all this, what I'm saying is, even if you show little initiative in whatever field you want to be, it will pay you results unimaginably later. So when I started my preparation after 4th year, I joined an institute in Hyderabad. I never wanted to go to Delhi. Delhi didn't suit me for many reasons, primarily because food, like I like my dal and there it's only aloo. I can't eat aloo. And I like my family, and it's well known that this exam will take time. So I was practical enough. It's okay even if I don't clear in first 2 attempts, but I want to clear it. So I wanted moral support, so I wanted to stay close to my family. So we made a list of institutes which are offering best courses in Hyderabad, called them, understood how that works, understood how coaching is. Then we moved to the next stream, choosing optional for the exam. Electronics is not an optional in civil service. Electrical optional is there. So I couldn't take it. Now the options that were left were humanities options. Humanities is something that you stop reading in 10th. But I had interest. So then I saw various lectures of the subjects that I liked from University of California, from Delhi University. So spent my time again in that field, got a lot of idea about how it operates, and then made my decision. Initially making the decision to take sociology option happened here in this library. So I was so strong that I will take sociology, and today I am. Though I took time for the last year when I got rank and this year when I got rank, I am the topper of social in India. So that's how it happens. So what I am trying to say is show initiative. I think that's what lags when we are students, because we think this is the world, GNS is the world, our class is the world. It's okay if we do well here. But trust me, going out of GNS, when I saw the exam pool, 10 lakh people apply for this exam. First few months, it was extremely terrifying to just attend classes because we were a class of 250 members to listen to coaching. It was humongous. The numbers were humongous. So it's very easy to get demotivated. So this is a small bunch. So don't think that this is the entire world like a frog in a well. So it's very important to understand the reality, because once reality hits you, you should at least stand. Be running or walking. You should be, tall enough to think, I can do it. I will do something with my life. So that's what I would request students here to show initiative. It's not important that you choose engineering field as your career path, or civil services, or something else. You might go to US or filmmaking or fashion designing. But in anything, you should at least dream of excelling in it. And if you dream, then you will show some initiative. You will do a lot of work about it. Be involved in the process. Without being involved in the process, you will just be what you are today. But looking back, you should feel that I grew. So now I can tell, 6 years after the entire journey, that there's a curve in my life which is now rising. And I'm very happy about it. So I want you to look back and then tell, yes, we did something about life too. We just didn't leave it to the whims and fancies of others, our friends, or the media, or the internet, or parents. So I want you to take charge of your life and move forward in that direction. And after engineering, when I started preparation, that was, looking back, it feels like hell of years. I did a lot of work. Because I had no member of my family in civil services, I had distant cousins, I had some clue, and with my basic preparation, I had some clue. But the field is so competitive. You have people from engineering, IITs, IIMs, Delhi universities, humanities background, law graduates, extremely talented people, extremely well informed. Everybody is competing for this exam. So you feel you are lost. So first few years I had that feeling, but somehow I had self-belief I could do it, kept performing. I think most important lesson for my journey is I kept performing. Though I took my time, which I took, and I'm not sorry about it, I'm happy with the time I took. It took me time, but it gave me my result, and I didn't force anything on it. So I started performing well, didn't do mains well, then went to the interview next attempt, didn't get ranked, just was short of 5 marks. Next, wrote the exam again, went to interview, got 207, was not satisfied, gave the exam again, went to interview, got 37. And in between 207 and 37, I happened to write APPSC. This I wrote in 2020 and now it's 2022. So it took 2 years for the exams to finish and I got third rank. So consistently I was doing it, putting effort, come about me. So I think self-belief paid off. Have self-belief. So how do you get self-belief? If you perform, if you take initiative. If you don't do anything, it's hard to believe because people won't believe you. Take it for granted. 1 year, 2 years they'll believe you. After that, they will give up on you. But if you give up on yourself, then I think it becomes very hard to move in any field. For example, I have my friends. So initially after farewell, after passing out, I was in touch. Okay. But then many people, they joined MTech, they went to MBA, they went to US. Slightly I was in touch for the first year of my prep. And then they started to get married. People were going for tours. They were going to very good places, putting pics. I was just in my room, in my pajamas, and studying for the exam. It was so horrible to imagine my status, and this was for 4 years. So it becomes very important to have self-belief because now what I did gave me result. Now everyone is happy about me. But today's happiness has 4 or 5 years of very long and short bursts of unhappiness, anxiety and depression outbursts. So it's very important to have self-belief to do something. So have belief. Believe that you will be doing something good, something exceptional, and it might happen. And stay humble and simple in the process. I think those are the 2 qualities that I really like about myself. I would also recommend you to maybe take it. And discipline is something that teammates definitely imbibes in us. So people who come out of discipline, of teammates are definitely disciplined. So that will be there. But take initiative. I think that's lacking in students. So if you take initiative and charge, you can really do what you want. So excellence is something that we can aim for, but at least let's try to be good. So good is something that you can aspire and become. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjana. With your permission, I think on a lighter note, I want to speak something. Right. So I have taught them 2 subjects. This class where she belongs to is the most notorious class I have ever taught. But then, I have taught them electronic circuit analysis. Before I go to class, usually we are prepared. But then I used to make double or triple preparation. There were 2 students, Sanjana, Simha and Vishnu. These are the 2 brilliant students in the class. Wherein if I write an equation and if I prove something, they will prove it in a different way. So I should be ready. It is not just a regular monotonous way, but they used to do it in a new way. So I am very happy. Sanjana has become IAS and Vishnu, she is pursuing her PhD in ISC Bangalore. I am happy for both of them. Thank you, Sanjana. I think the students will take the points that you have given them. I request HOD sir and principal sir to please join the audience.
Okay, let me calm down. I'll walk through the aisle. I think it will be more interactive now. This brings some familiarity. Yes, so please tell me your name and which year you are. So let's keep the introductions that way.
I'm from first year ECE as well.
Okay, great. So hi Harshita. So yes, doubt about taking civils. Yes. When you take civils, everyone is interested about you and your life. That's how it becomes. So they are constantly asking you, where are you? How are you studying? You told civils. So I think that type of inquiry can be motivated, though later it becomes depressing because exam doesn't give you results so easily. You are perpetually in failure, that's what you feel. But I like this. So I thought, in the eventuality that I don't become this, maybe I'll do masters in sociology and take out and start an NGO. So I had chalked out a plan for myself. So self-doubt is something that
I'm Reddy from EC first year. Ma'am, did you complete NCRTs before taking coaching? Ma'am, also, did you think about the consequences of what would happen if you fail the exam continuously? Was there a plan B?
So coming to the first question, Meghna, yes, I did NCRTs in the college because I wanted to be prepared. Like at least, out of let's say a bunch of 100 aspirants, 50 aspirants are clueless about the exam. 50 are good enough. In those 50, 30 are pretty good and 10 are exceptionally good. Just I am talking about the level of having an idea about the exam. So I thought why not be in the 30? Aiming for 10 is very high, which I myself might not have because my parents are not in the civil service, but I wanted to have some idea. So I did the basic NCRTs in 4 to 7. But the point is, when we are reading NCRT, I read it like a 10th class student, but I didn't know what exam was expecting. So I had to redo it again while preparing because I didn't have an idea of what the exam is expecting. So that is where I lagged. So again, when I started my preparation, I went through previous year questions, I went through many toppers videos and understood how to read NCRTs. So I knew I had to do NCRTs, but I didn't know in what way. So that changed a bit later. So that was the intelligence that I was mentioning earlier. And coming to the second question about failure. Yes, so right from the moment I started to prepare for this exam, till the day I got rank 37, the idea of failure always sticks. But it's something, but the idea of failure I think should be seen in a positive light because it keeps you grounded, that you have to do, you cannot give up now. So some amount of fear is healthy, that's how I see it, so I saw it that way. And I had my family extremely understanding and loving me, and they knew that I was putting a lot of effort. So even if I failed, I thought I'll fail with support and do something good with my life. So I am good. So that's the understanding I got after engineering. So there is no turning back. So I can do something. So use engineering these 4 years to have self-belief. That's what I'm saying. So because if you take something that's unsurmountable, something very tough.
My name is Yashaswini. I'm from EC, 4th year. First of all, I would like to congratulate you for achieving the highest of India's one of the top most jobs. The thing is, ma'am, as we have different social scripts, personal life is also the thing that we have to consider for a career being a woman. So the settling time in our career is less when compared to men. So what do you think, like I'm so happy, I'm so proud that you had a very good family support, but it's not same with everyone. You have a deadline or you have an end point where you have to stop and go into a personal life back. And also now we have cracked civil services, so posting might be all over India, and you have to be away from your family. And how do you think you can overcome the bonding with your family personally? And what do you think you suggest us, like you have a deadline and you still have good, aims, goals, and you might not or may not achieve it. There's a probability, 50-50 probability because of the time. How do you think you can suggest us, we can plan it or we can overcome it?
3 parts, right? Okay. So the first part was family support. So yes, I am very lucky. I have a lot of family support. In fact, my father was very worried that I will join Deloitte right after my placement. So when we sat for a dinner, he was like, you don't have ideas of joining, right? Let's be clear. And I was also equally furious to ask him, you're also clear that I don't want to get married in the next 5 years, right? So we had that understanding. So yes, like that, I was very lucky. And then in the preparation, I found Harsha and I, my husband, so we happened to know each other, and then things clicked that way. So coming to family life, I am extremely lucky. So I really don't know how things happen otherwise. But there are equally other examples of many civil servants. Like there is a civil servant, my friend, who got divorced, who was in depression, wrote the exam and cracked. So it's just how assertive you are as a person. So sometimes you need to stand up for yourself, for what you want to do. So just show assertion. And when you're showing assertion, also show results, then people I think will turn around. So it's like that. Okay, now coming to the second part. What was the second part? Deadline? Yes, deadlines and targets. See, it's never ending. I have deadline for today also. I have deadline for tomorrow also, for yesterday also. So take each day as it comes. So, for example, my mother-in-law is ill for the last 7 days. So I had to take up a test yesterday. Before that day, I had to get medicines for her and I had to give classes. I had to apply for my resignation. I had to book tickets for Labasana. So I make detailed notes. These are the things to do for today: emergency, urgent, immediate, okay later. So things like that. If you are a bit organized in life, you can do something. But what I have learned is, don't try to be a perfectionist. That will just wreak havoc. So just be okay doing normal stuff, and if you don't do many things, just let it. You cannot be perfect. Don't be perfect. Don't aim for perfection. So that's how I see it. Have I answered all your questions?
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Suchitra Chauhan and I'm from first year from AAA. So I just want to ask you that in first 2 attempts you got failure. So how did you motivate yourself, and what were the strategies you applied and how did you plan it?
Okay. This one famous quote by Albert Einstein, right? Sujitra, do you know it? If you do the things as you're doing it, you won't get good, different result. Something like that. I don't remember the verbatim. I think the gist is that. So then I changed my strategy. So that's the only thing. So first 2 years of prep, you are still pumped up. You have energy left. So once I wrote mains, writing mains itself is very big in this exam because only 20,000 get to write mains, while 4 lakh write prelims and 8 lakhs apply. So just calculate the proportion. So writing mains is a big thing. Once you write mains, you can be sure that you can do better than that because you are already reached the level. So then I understood how to write mains. I reworked my strategy. So a lot of relearning, unlearning happened in the process. So I started to make my own notes, made them more precise, keywords. So UPSC is a written exam, mains. So I am not directly talking to the examiner. He will know me only to my script. So all my energy went into my script. So that's how I changed. So yes, I get demotivated. After all, I'm also a person, human being, right? So I used to take some days off, watch some movies, and then get back, talk to friends. Friends are, really an asset. They are our kin, in fact, effective kin. So I used to call them, tell them my challenges. And what I learned is they also have challenges. So everyone is having their own challenges. So they used to tell theirs. And then we used to discuss, okay, maybe 1 year later we'll be in a better position. Like I used to call Vaishnavi. She's somewhere in Bangalore. I am at least in Hyderabad with my family. So everyone has their own set of issues. So then we used to keep motivating and moving forward. There's no way that moving forward. So let's move forward and at least fail, but let's not stay here. And that's all. That was the...
Proud of you, and I remember Sanjana as Miss Boxer of JLS. When Telangana State was first formed in 2014, I remember. She was the first girl to get selected to represent Telangana State in the Senior National Boxing Championship. She was very active, and can you just motivate them how sport helped you to many more girls will be active in sport?
Definitely. See, basketball is something that I picked up in college, and I was so affection and liking to it that I started to go mornings near my home for basketball. From 5:30 to 7:30. They used to come home, come to college, and then play basketball here. Sometimes go back and play basketball again in my home, and then go. So I think you can spend 1 year seriously for a sport. You will really like yourself. It will be so refreshing, something that you didn't do before. You will understand something very good about you. I came to know that my free throws are really good. So now I can boast about myself, my free throws are very good. What about you? So it gives you a sense of confidence that when see, now I am in a place in Nagpur where I don't know many people. So how do I interact with them? So I ask them, let's play basketball. I make friends. We learn from one another. So sports gives you an all-rounded personality. It gives you fitness, and it's a very good stress buster. That's how I see. So my basketball memories are very, very profound and happy for me. I think you should take up a sport. I remember my friend Swati in volleyball. So, and we had a senior called Anikya. She was the champ, basketball champ. They were so good, affectionate. They used to teach us. That's how I interacted with my seniors. So please do take up one sport and do it well. And I had a friend who was very good with PE. So when we sit, we have a discussion about sports in teenage, how we used to do them. So it's very good to have sports. And ma'am is an asset. Who will get someone like ma'am to guide you about sports? She's ever motivating. You can learn something from her. She is very fit. She thinks she's always on the run. So I tell my mom, sometimes I should also be like Surya Kumari ma'am, running from here to there. So be so fit and do things. So it's a very good opportunity because outside I see my friends who come from other colleges, they have not done as many experiments that I did. So you can do that. You can be proud about yourself later. It will be a very good learning.
I still remember we went to inter-university selections on her scooty. We both together went to LP Stadium for inter-university selections. She got selected to represent JNTU team in the boxing championship, inter-university boxing championship.
Yes, and we went to VJIT, the MIT, we used to win
So many tournaments.
And all. So it will be a very good endeavor.
Thank you. Wish you all the very best. We are very proud of you.
Thank you. Hello ma'am.
Congratulations, Sanjana.
Thank you. You were the first person to speak to us as freshers. So.
Really, we are truly proud on your achievement, and we are extremely delighted to remember Shriji Pullareddy Garu on this occasion of meeting you. I should just share a small incident with Shriji Pullareddy Garu. Way back 1997, come here, please stand. So, we just, after 5 years of the college, we had a college annual day celebration. So all the students were preparing for the college annual day, and some group of students came out with the idea of having a singer to the campus. And the singer was charging 1 lakh rupees. 1 lakh rupees. So we had to take the financial approval from Pullareddy Garu, who was the then chairman of the college. And all the students took the strength, courage, and went to him and requested him, saying that, sir, మాకు ఈసారి సెలబ్రిటీ సింగింగ్ ఉంటే బాగుంటుంది, కాలేజ్ యాన్యువల్ డే ఇంకా బాగా జరుపుతాము అని ఒక విష్ ఎక్స్ప్రెస్ చేశారు. అప్పుడు పుల్లారెడ్డి గారు అన్న మాటలు ప్రతి స్టూడెంట్ ఈ కాలేజ్లో ఏది అచీవ్ చేసినా సార్ నాకు గుర్తొస్తారు. ఈరోజు సంజనా సింగ్ అచీవ్మెంట్, it is delightful for me to remember Pullareddy Garu. What he said was the most inspiring quote I can remember for every student of this college. మనము సెలబ్రిటీస్ని పిలిచి, అది కూడా ఒక లక్ష్య ఇచ్చి సెలబ్రిటీస్ని పిలిచడం దానికన్నా మీరందరూ మన కాలేజ్ నుండి సెలబ్రిటీస్ని ఎందుకు తయారు చేయకూడదు? Why don't you all make the students of this college so capable of becoming a celebrity so that we can invite them as chief guests for our college? So today Sanjana, Pullareddy Gari vision okati fulfill అయినట్టు నాకు అనిపిస్తుంది. Yeah, truly whenever I see any student achieving and excelling in the field of their choice, I feel Pullareddy sir's vision is fulfilled on that day. So we are extremely proud, wishing you a really, really bright and a prosperous future, Sanjana. Truly delighted to have you with us today.
Congratulations to you. I'm Pratima from first year ECE. I want to ask that how did you start your initial preparation immediately after completing your engineering? How did you manage your daily activities and preparation? And there will be a confusion that firstly how to start and how to manage all the subjects in a particular time. Like how did you manage all of it and how did you start your preparation now?
So once I started my preparation after final exams here, there's only one activity to sit and study. So because initially you don't know what works and what doesn't work here. So I gave all my focus to only preparation. So initial days when I joined coaching, I got some direction. Okay, these are the things that you should read. This is how you read and what you can expect in the exam. So coaching in a way gave me direction and I saw many toppers interviews. So you see, we have given exams all our life. So we know how to prepare for an exam. Just that we need to understand the pulse of the exam. So writing engineering exams or university exams is different from how you write UPSC. So once you understand that, you will prepare. So because that's how our brain works. So it will prepare. Nothing to worry. So just have an idea about how others are doing. After all, this is competitive. No need to do exceptionally well. Do better than the rest of the group.
I'm Reddy and I'm a 2020 batch passed out student. I've been preparing for these exams since March 1. I have resigned my job. I've been one of the board decisions at Untitled and I started the preparation. But I'm unable to maintain the consistency since 5 months. I'm unable to do that. I think maintaining consistency is one of the true qualities that a aspirant requires. How did you do that?
So initially, maintaining consistency is a task for everyone. Because see, when we are in college, we hardly read for 2 hours a day. Only when our exams are coming nearby, we do sit for study. We do sit and study for extended periods. So one aspect to maintaining consistency is first to ensure sustainability. What I mean is, if you can sit for 4 hours every day, at least sit for 4 hours every day for a week. Don't sit for 10 hours today and 2 hours tomorrow or take a break the day after. First sit for same amount of time consistently at least for a week. So that becomes sustainable. If 4 hours is only possible, sit for 4 hours. Next week, increase it by 1-2 hours, 6 hours. And after 1 to 2 months, increase it to 8 hours. And now because you are writing it next year, I don't think anything more than 8 hours is suggested. That's because you will be burnt out by the time exam comes. If you read for 12 to 13 hours now itself, what will you do then? In the nick of the time, when the exam is near, when you are under extreme pressure, you will read 18 hours also. But to read 18 hours then, you need to have sufficient energy buffer. So now, healthy 8 hours is something that you have to aim. For that, read 4 hours for first 2 to 3 weeks, then 6 hours, then next month increase it to 8 hours. And then also, you plan your day into 2 hours. 4 hours morning, 4 hours post lunch. So immediately after getting up, it becomes tough to sit and read. So I used to watch video lessons. Then I used to revise what I did the day before and then start my prep. So 4 hours morning, 4 hours post lunch. And post 5 o'clock, some new current affairs or some 1 to 2 hours study here and there. That's how I used to do it. And have a group of serious aspirants. Without serious friends, without a serious peer group, it becomes very tough. So you cannot be a lone wolf from the first year.
Ma'am, also share your current affairs strategy because that is the other important aspect for this exam, right? So there's so much of information available on the internet and then you have so many books from various institutes. Be able to figure out as to what to read exactly for this. I've been taking the coaching at Vision IAS, ma'am.
Online or offline?
Online.
Okay. Vision 365, Vision Monthly Magazine does the job pretty well. Don't try to make notes from Hindu. I'll tell you why. You will initially you will take 2 hours to read Hindu and then you will take next 2 to 3 hours to make notes. But you will end up reading Vision because it is very crisp and it's more organized. So what all notes you make, you won't end up reading it. Instead, Vision IAS is investing a lot of money, it's recruiting people to make the content. So why don't we buy it and read it? Use the market for your benefit. Don't make current affairs notes. Read notes of Vision IAS or any institute material. One is fine. If you are not confident about it, go with 2 sources. I used only Vision. After prelims, I used to make notes from Hindu editorials because they used to be current issues, not affairs. So this issue can be asked in a mains question. So I used to make notes out of it. But I myself never made notes for current affairs because I didn't find it efficient. I didn't read it again. So the strategy that I adopted was to read something that I can make notes of, that I can revise, and that I can write. If these three things are not possible, then I wouldn't read it all. So I think you can adopt that. Thank you.
Hello ma'am. First of all, hearty congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, as you said, there is a lot of competition in this exam. What are the things that made you different from others and what gave you an edge to clear this exam? I would like to hear some suggestions to clear this exam. And one more thing, is coaching necessary to clear this exam? What's your take on this? This is Manisha, first year EC.
Hi Manisha. Yeah, so is coaching relevant? Coaching gives you a direction, that's it. So I think 10% of what, if we see the result as 100%, 10% of it belongs to coaching, that's it, nothing more than that, at max 50. So coaching will give you direction, that's the only thing. Because what question I usually put up is when you go to coaching, you at least attend classes for 8 hours. Then come home, revise for 1 hour. So maybe effectively your brain is active for 4 to 5 hours. Do you have belief in you that you can sit in your room for 6 hours from day 1 and prepare? Can you do that? If you can do that, then coaching is not necessary. If you can't do that, then coaching is good. And now we have online coaching. So you can take 1 or 2 subjects, experiment if that works for you or not, and make a decision. So experiment with 1 subject, take 1 institute, 1 subject coaching online, make notes, see if you can implement it for other subjects, and then you can make a decision. It's an individual choice in the end. And coming to the first question about edge, usually all those who crack this exam are telling about only some basic things. Consistent, persistent preparation, patience, making notes, and being in the process. So, edge, in fact, I don't think we have really that kind of, the edge is only this. All of us did the same thing, so yeah.
Thank you Sanjana. I know you have hundreds of questions in your mind. So for that, Sanjana has extended her time. She wants to join online Zoom session. So that will be before 23rd of this month. I will let you all know. If still there are some doubts in your mind, she is there with us. Okay? So you can connect with her. Right?
His name is Harsha. Okay. So he mentors, he has to try to mentorship from me. So do call him, fix an appointment. There was a
వచ్చేదానికి కోసం బట్ ఈ రోజు మాత్రం చాలా హ్యాపీగా అనిపించింది చాలా హ్యాపీగా ఉంటుంది
మీరు రండి దాంతో పాటు
ఫాదర్ నేను ఇద్దరం వస్తా అంటే మాకు మీరు బిజీ కదా అన్ని డిస్టర్బ్ చేయడం
24th నేను వెళ్ళిపోతున్నానండి సో 21st 19th I think 20th is a Saturday so ఈ వీక్ రండి నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ I'll be a bit busy so we will talk
చాలా థ్యాంక్స్ అమ్మ
I now request our principal sir, Dr. K. Ramesh Reddy garu, please come on to the dais for our presentation. I now request Mrs. Sanjana Simha, please come on to the dais. I request Reddy sir to speak a few words on this occasion.
Today's guest and president Sanjana Simha, senior faculty members, and my dear students. We are really proud that our alumni Sanjana Simha has achieved 37th rank, All India rank in IAS. Really it is a very proud and auspicious occasion to celebrate. She has brought laurels not only to herself, to her family, as well as to the institution also. I, on my behalf and also on behalf of the management, I congratulate you once again. I know your father also as an advocate, and otherwise I also met him also. So it's an inspiration to all the students to get into the competitive exams and achieve good postings. She is very inspiring for all of you. Thank you very much.
Also from the Alumni Association, we have Sudha ma'am. Sudha ma'am could not turn up today, so I request Sudha ma'am along with Chairman sir to hand over a small token of gift. Thank you, sir.
I request all the students to raise to give a standing ovation to Pride of GNH, Mrs. Sanjana Simha. Hearty congratulations and wish you all the very best. We are proud of you, Ms. Sanjana.
I thank the management for encouraging this, calling the alumni, distinguished alumni, and felicitating like this. This is one of the kind it has happened in our institute. So we hope such tradition continues, and we would like to call our alumni like this and have such celebrations like this. I thank Principal Sir, HOD Sir, all the heads of various departments for coming over here and making this a grand success. Thank you one and all. A small announcement. All the students, please wait outside. We have a group session, group photo.
ఉంటాను.